You're listening to the Birds on Power Lines podcast. And if you are new to our podcast, we talk about fandoms most of the time. We put out a podcast every second Tuesday of the month. And yeah, mostly fandoms. Sometimes we talk about trips that we're on or other things that are going on, but so far we've been mostly talking about fandoms. Lots of Doctor Who and Star Wars. Now we're doing Star Wars, as you can see by what we're wearing. So if you're listening to us on audio, you can see us at our YouTube location, and you can literally see us at our YouTube location. But if you're listening on audio, we are more than happy to have you listening. So in this podcast, we are going back to talking about Star Wars. We are specifically looking at the second season of Andor. And this podcast will look at episodes 7, 8, and 9.
Yeah, so this is our second podcast on season 2 of Andor. The first one was a bit long.
Yeah,
so
it was a long podcast.
We're gonna do 3 and 3 for
because our first podcast we did the
half,
first we did the first six episodes.
Yeah.
And it ended up being pretty long, and we got pretty tired while we were talking about it. So what we're going to do is do 3 episodes this time, and then therefore there will be one more podcast on Andor coming up in the future. But we're also going to be looking a little bit at Sandman season 2 as well. So there'll be a smattering of that and maybe some other stuff before we completely finish Andor. It's been out already for a while, so there's no rush, but we will get to it. If you are a regular listener or someone who's listened to us in past, there will be more stuff. But yeah, so our last podcast actually was on Doctor Who, the end of Ncuti Gatwa's experience as the Doctor. So we had a podcast talking about the last 4 episodes of the last season of Doctor Who. Okay, so let's get going with this. And if you haven't listened to us before, we usually take turns talking about the episode. We typically watch the things together, whatever it is. Not always, but typically. Usually. And but we try not to.
Almost always.
Yeah. But we try not to tell each other what we're going to do. And the reason we started this podcast in the first place is because we always talk about these things. So we decided, why not podcast about them? All right. So let's get going. Do you want to go first?
Sure. Yeah, I can go first. Yeah. So then seven?
Yes, number 7, and it is Messenger.
Yeah, okay. Just checking that I was right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm always like a sucker for like aerial views of things. I really like the fact that it just opened with like Yavin. You're seeing Yavin from the
yes,
sky.
you got very excited.
Yeah, I like yes, I
remember
like that. I like that. Honestly, I should look where they actually filmed it in real life. But
yeah, I don't know, but I love the continuity with the original
it's always the
episodes. Like I like that.
And Rogue One too, but yeah,
and Rogue One,
and all the
but
whatnot.
I'm thinking of the original.
Anyway, and I really liked like the continuous shot. I don't know. I said long shot, but I don't think that's actually the technical term of Wellman walking through the camp. And like you didn't know who it was at first. Like I was like trying to guess who that was.
Yeah, actually I don't remember that. I remember him walking through, but I didn't remember
I did not guess
the
it was him.
POV on that.
But yeah, it was interesting because you just see like his shoes and his legs and stuff. And it was I thought that was really interesting. And
so we know he's okay.
Yeah, so we know. I
think I even said something like that. We know he's okay after
what
happened at the end of episode 6.
Yeah, so. And then I have to clarify that like we always write these like right after we watched the episodes. Before,
in terms of our methodology.
Before we watched the next one. So I wrote down that I was hoping that Bix would be the one to go after Dedra because like it would be more cathartic for her like to do that.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Because like she was the one who was like basically like keeping her in that room and stuff. Right?
Yeah,
that was
that's
her.
What, yeah, so that's what
I
you were
was
thinking.
I was hoping it would be like her doing that, like, because she also went after the other general.
Yeah,
Cassian, but it was like her who did it.
I was hoping.
No,
that was the science guy. That was the science officer.
Yeah, science officer guy. I was hoping that it would be her, but it ended up not being her. But yeah, but
we find that out.
Yeah, sure. Episode. Cassian's fine. Cassian going after is fine. That's whatever. But and I honestly, my favorite like bit of the episode was like the whole scene with the Force healer.
That was really cool. I have stuff to say about that too, but like, what do you have to say?
Okay, so I thought, like, given this context, maybe that's why, like, in Rogue One, Cassian was a little bit, like, dismissive of both Chirrut and Baze, the 2 Guardians of the Wills.
I didn't even think about it.
And
I need to see.
He was a little bit dismissive of them.
We should we watch Rogue One again as soon as we're done, because I can't remember all of it.
Yeah,
but yeah,
like he kept telling Jen like, oh, just don't like pay attention to them and stuff. But, I mean, they ended up, of course, like the whole thing with what happened with them. Yeah. But like at first, like he was a bit dismissive of them, and I noticed the same pattern with this as well. So he's like,
like he doesn't want to
uneasy with like.
But anything. Sometimes I think like, let's think about this for now. Like, why is he like that, right? Like, because I know they
because so many bad things happened to him.
Well, but they talk about something very specific in terms of a force healer with his adoptive mother, right? That's true. Yes. But we don't. Do we know what that was? I don't remember. I don't remember her ever saying anything about it. So something happened. But I feel like the more people rebel against something, sometimes it's because they're hiding something. And do you know what I mean? Like I feel like I have a feeling that he knows something about himself.
Yeah.
That he can sense, and she knows that.
Yeah, what I wrote down was that, like, I feel like, I think Biggs actually might have had some, like, sense of the Force, because that's what I was getting from that, like, whole scene, like, they exchanged with the Force healer, and then, Cassian and Biggs afterwards, because, like, Biggs kept saying, like, I think that this Force healer was right, I feel things as well. About you and stuff, and I was just thinking that maybe it was her, maybe she's like a little bit slightly force sensitive, and he just like, I mean, of course we probably, I'm assuming that the reason that
I'm going to like force sensitive, and then there's the other thing, like,
well, force sensitive.
But does that mean
doesn't mean you can actively use the Force? Like,
and can it work the other way around? Like, he might not acknowledge that he senses it, but somehow the Force is using him. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Sure, and that's why he's like a messenger, like because as he says, he's been incredibly lucky, right? Yeah.
And I'm sure that must have something to do with it, of course. And,
somehow.
Like, and then he's one of the people who ends up playing like such a huge, consequential role in like a huge turning point for like a huge galactic battle.
So, and then he's the one that and he's probably the only one that can, I don't know, whatever it is. But sure, we can speculate all we want, but
that's what I was thinking. Yeah. That's why I was thinking that this Force healer and then also Bix as well, like other people, there seems to be like some sort of thing that they're like, this guy is, they're thinking this, like, Cassian is going to do something. He's going to do something. There's something
he's needed in this whole thing.
I feel like like that's, and
he's the only one that can get it done.
What it is. Yeah. And then and then continue adding on to that, like, everyone, even in like the rebel leadership and stuff, everyone is like literally like, this guy is like special, like they all want him to do stuff for them.
They all want him to do stuff.
Yeah, and
he just does it.
And then I think my second favorite scene was like right at the end when like Cassian was on Gorman, and he was like using the mirror to like look at the stormtroopers. Oh yeah, I thought that was so cool. That was like some really top tier,
and when I saw
spy movie stuff,
I was thinking, you know what? Somehow he's going to figure out how to do this, like how he's gonna, because he's just so smart, right? Yeah. Like he's very aware. I mean, of course, that's not how it went down. But when we were watching that episode, I was thinking, okay, he's calculating and he's figuring out how he's gonna, do what he's going to do. I don't think when I watched that episode that I thought he was actually going to take her out for sure.
I was thinking definitely.
You thought so?
100%.
I didn't think he was.
I was thinking he was going to take her out. Like when it ended up being him that went to Gorman to like.
I felt that she was still going to be around. Like, I felt that she was going to stick around longer.
I don't know. I was thinking he was going to be her, because he's not like what actually ended up happening.
Of course. But no. So that was my sense of it. Yeah. From what you're talking about. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I have other things. I had a lot, like, because I don't know, like when I
didn't write down too much.
Yeah. Well, I got too much.
You wrote down.
But I'm not going to read it all. But like, I just want to get a sense, because like when I first started reflecting on this episode, I was thinking that this whole episode had a feeling of approaching dread, and I think that was because you know instinctively what's going to happen on Gorman. Like, we already know what the plan is, right? Mm-hmm. And from like, what is it, like, that was in the first year, right? The first 3 episodes, they were already saying, like, and Dedra already said, they know that they have to get rid of everyone there, and I don't think that was ever not the plan, right? And I think they really got that approaching dread, like, know what's going to happen, but the atmosphere was just like, something terrible is about to happen, even though what's going to happen, you feel it, right? So you really feel like that, And then there's this, because now you're back on. And then how Yavin changed so much.
Oh yeah, that's true.
In those years, right? Like you saw when Cassian was there, and I mean that was
actually one thing I was even thinking about. Like at this point in time, like 2 years before. Yeah,
that was 2 years ago,
Rogue
right?
One. 2 years before
Rogue One.
I was thinking
no,
2
but I'm
years
talking. He
before
was there
Rogue
3 years ago at that time. Let me think. When was it? So he landed there in episode 1,
there.
right?
Yeah.
And that was that whole thing going on with that group who lost their leader, right?
Oh yeah.
So that was episode 1, right? In the second season.
Yeah.
Because he took off with
it was like 1 and 2.
1 and 2, right?
Yeah.
So that would be what, 4 years ago? 3 years ago?
2 years.
2 years before what we're looking at right
now.
now. No, because this is like 2 years, so that would be 2 years, 5 years, right? Really, because there's the whole
5 years before
what we're looking at right now.
No,
because
we're 1 year time skip. So 1, 2, and 3 are 4 years before the Battle of Yavin. 4, 5.
I thought
6,
each of those is a year apart.
Yes, each one is a year apart until the last.
So if we're in like episode 2, and now we're in episode 7.
No, not every episode.
Oh no, that's right.
Yeah,
it's the year. Okay, I get it. Yes. So we're talking like 4
So
years, right? 2 years, 2 years, right?
2 years,
yeah.
2 years.
I get it. I gotcha. So that's what.
Yeah.
Okay. So a lot has changed really in that short amount of time, because I mean at that time they couldn't even get food. Like
Yes.
So I was impressed by that, right? I was also seeing the rebellion organizing itself, which is great, but I felt bad about how Luthen was sort of discussed. Because I mean, he was pushing that whole thing, and now I felt like they were all kind of turning on him
a bit.
But if it hadn't been for his tenacity, where would they be? Right? Like that's sort of how I felt about it. It's like, this dude did a lot. Right?
I guess.
And I'm going to talk more about that.
Okay.
Okay, then Yavin is iconic. Willman back, and he's still alive, but now he's stronger, right? Like before he was sort of like wilty, and now like his time in between, he's really part of the rebellion, and he's not like a little kid anymore. Like I feel like he's matured a lot in that amount of time. Experience with the Force healer. Why is he so resistant? Like why is he so...
Cassian.
Yeah,
Yes.
Cassian.
Yes.
Yeah, not Willman.
Yes.
Yeah, Cassian. Why is he so resistant? So I wonder what had happened. And I also said Bix clearly has sensed something herself, right?
Yes,
And really believes that. Then we go back to Miro, right? And Willman's desire to have Andor get rid of her, right?
Yeah.
And it's like he's the one that has to do it. That's the weird thing, right? Like I mean, this is the whole. He's the one. Everyone relies on him to do like all the big things.
Yeah.
It's him,
Yeah.
right? Which is why I feel so bad in like the third. Like we'll get to there, but he's like everything's got to be him. Gorman bad, right? And the thing is that this was written so much before what's going on right now in real life. Like you can really see the propaganda machine going full throttle, so you can really see. How, like, if you think about it, right? I mean, it's like, it's propaganda. And that, it's all the Empire doing all of that. And they're all saying it's not. Like, it's like, and everybody just eats it up, right? Because of the way it's done. I wasn't quite sure what that slap meant that Enza did to Cyril. I didn't quite understand that slap. So do they know now that he was manipulating them? Or reporting to them, and that's why she slapped him. I didn't quite get it because part of him actually wants to help. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I get this sense.
I think that it was more like she really thought like or
yeah, I don't know what it is. I didn't feel
I was thinking,
like she slapped him.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
But I don't think that they. I mean,
I don't think she like knew that, but I think she just like didn't want his help.
Yeah, I guess, or that she was feeling like, why would we need you? I don't know. Yeah. And so I wasn't clear on that. But there's that whole thing. Like, I'm still sort of torn with Cyril, especially we're going to talk about it in the next episode. But like I feel like he, in a way, was trying to help the Empire by making sure that there wasn't outside influences. That's how he was thinking was happening, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I also get the sense that he was trying to help them.
Yeah, the Gormans.
as well. Like, ironically,
Yeah.
right?
Because I
feel
think
like
he genuinely didn't want anything
bad to happen to
especially,
them,
especially
right?
as he got to know them.
Yeah, like I feel
Even
like
though he knew that
he was
that
like,
Emperor was trying
and
to do
somehow
stuff.
like I'm trying to go through the mental gymnastics he must have been doing in his head, and we're going to come back to that because I'm sort of thinking about it out loud because I'm still not settled.
I think he cared about the individual people.
Yeah, and I
not really like the whole.
He didn't want
thing.
them to
like,
rebel.
Yeah.
But he wanted to also make sure that
the
they
Empire's
weren't
interests are protected, but also
but not that they were getting blamed for something that they didn't do.
Yes.
And I don't think he was understanding why
What
they
was
were
going
getting
on.
blamed. Yeah, he wasn't following the whole thing, and which he learned at the end, right? He didn't know.
Yeah.
So he was like looking for these outside influences, and they weren't there, right? That's the feeling that I was getting.
Yeah,
and
sure.
when he, and at the same time, he was reporting to that to the to Dedra what they were going to do, right? So that was the weird thing. So I think that in a way she knew that there was some sort of
well, that's why like she told him like get off the planet, don't like
like
she knew that he would train her.
Oh, you mean Dedra?
Yeah, Dedra, at the end.
Oh yeah, I think that. Oh, maybe she. Oh, I didn't think about it that way. I think she just wanted to make sure you didn't get caught in what was going to happen.
I was thinking she didn't
because
want,
she knew
I
what
was
was going to
thinking
happen.
she wanted him out of the way, but also to make sure that like he didn't like
let them know.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I
don't know if he found out. Like, and they like so there's a little bit that I wasn't quite getting, and I think I need to watch it. I need to watch the whole thing again and to really get it. But anyway, so there was that. I said he felt he was genuinely concerned about the rebels. But once with Miro, totally didn't see that she was playing him, right?
Yeah.
Then you have the reports discussing the events, and they're not real. The news that the rebels didn't actually commit the crimes, like they were clearly being framed, and so that whole thing was disturbing to me because I feel it's too close to reality in about a lot of things. Dedra is now being replaced in a way because now when the things are coming down,
now like they're bringing in
other people to execute, and she has got a wrestle with that. She's concerned that that she's giving up her project. She says a project. You know what I mean? Okay, love the tension when Andor realized the Imperial troops were above him in the hotel. And I really liked that the concierge guy remembered him and clearly figured it out. Like that guy was bright, right? So he's figured it out. He's part of the rebellion.
But also, to be fair, like if you see Cassian like once, you're gonna recognize him.
Him.
Like,
yeah, he's got that.
No matter what, like,
he's got
disguise
that
he's
thing.
wearing. So like to be honest, his disguises are not very good.
I don't know. And then what I write here says, but figure Andor will take care of things in a way that he figure. Oh yeah, because what we were just saying. I figured he'd figure it out how he was going to do it at that point. And then I put this other thing like Cyril and Dedra. Outside agitators, Imperial, Dedra was the one orchestrating it all, and Cyril was not seeing it. Yeah, and she said that they need because remember she said they need the rebellion to do the wrong thing, and they didn't. Right? They never did the wrong thing. If you think about it,
a bit,
right? So they had to set it up that the rebellion would do the wrong thing, and that's what we see, of course. Mon Mothma. Okay, her life is getting serious, right? It's and you can tell that she's important to the resistance, and they have to do something, right? So that was thing. I can't not mention what was happening there. So I had a lot to say about that because there's actually a lot going on in that episode that I felt like, and it was sort of like grounding me back because we're now in like the next year, right? Like the next, right? Okay. So that was it. So in me, I go first for episode 8, or do you want to go?
No, you go.
Me? Okay. Episode 8. Who are you? Apt title, right? Because of when that question is asked, and then at the end of the day, there's that pause. There's that pause. I'm going to start right with that. Who are you?
Yeah.
And I think there was that pause before Cyril would have shot him.
Yeah.
Because he was trying to answer that question in his head, and of course that was that fatal pregnant pause for him.
Yeah.
But you think about it. I mean, he never actually. Do you know what I mean? Like
they never actually met.
Well, first they never met, but also he never really became himself. Everything he was doing was always to please somebody else.
Yeah, true.
Right? I think he didn't really learn who he was until those last few minutes when he was walking around seeing what was happening and realizing he didn't like it. Right? Like this is.
I told you this whole time. I was thinking.
But it's too late. Yeah. And then he still attacked Andor. So then he attacks Andor with such ferocity.
Yeah.
It's like he's blaming Andor for the fact that he was in. That's what I'm thinking. Like
technically, that's true.
But it wasn't. He made the choices.
The only reason that Cyril is on Gorman and everything that happened was because he decided to pursue Cassian.
Well, and he wanted to redeem himself.
Yeah,
but
he didn't have to.
But Cassian never met him. Like, it was never a personal thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? So the ferocity with which, like, I was even struck by how ferocious he was. I didn't even know he had that in him, right? Yeah. Because he was like such a wilted, wishy-washy wilted flower the whole time, trying to get approval. The ferocity with which he attacked Andor was like Cassian was like incredible.
Yeah.
And then at the end, he's like, "Who are you?" Right? And then he's like, and that was the end of him. But I like, really? But I thought that was so powerful. Okay. That was so good, right? Yeah. So, yeah. And then at the end, coming back to that idea at the end with the mother seeing all of the sort of people who sacrificed themselves. Now I think she's finally proud of him because now she can say that her son was one of the, like, oh my God, I wanted to punch her in the face. Like,
maybe.
Right? You know what I'm saying? They show her at the end and they're like listing all the people that, and she knows now her son is a hero. Right? Like that's how, I was so like, oh man. Anyways, ended up realizing that Dedra used him. Right? Because of the traits that he had. Yep. I mean, really. So sorry to see him go, even though he wasn't a good person, because now he had a chance to fix himself.
I don't think he would have done it.
I don't think he would have done it.
No.
But he realizes the consequences of what he did.
Yeah.
And
sure.
Right? Like, I don't know. Anyways, started to realize what he actually was. Yeah. Like he was, in a way, he was a monster. In a way, and he saw it at the end that his pursuit of trying to gain everyone's favor is that he actually made a lot of that happen, right? Dedra, doubt that she will do the right thing.
No,
doubt that she'll do the right thing in the end. She will have. I said something tragic is going to happen to her for sure.
Yeah, even though even though she had that was this episode, right? She had a complete breakdown.
That's the last episode.
No? Okay.
That's episode 3.
Either
next
way.
one.
Either way.
Yeah. So who is she as well? Like, who is she? Like, I don't think she even realizes who she is, right? Because again, both of them are define themselves by others' approval, ultimately, right? Yeah. So ultimately, the plan was the one that she had executed. So in a way, she's proud of that until like the next episode. Okay, Will. I felt he will likely not make it.
I was worried.
I was sure he wasn't going to make it. But he'll be happy regardless. That's how I felt. Even if he doesn't make it, he's happy.
Yeah.
Which is good. Gorman at the hotel, that guy helping people escape, and he was prepared the whole time.
Yeah.
He was prepared. Yeah, he was prepared. He had it in the hotel.
I wish that guy had a name.
Oh man,
I'm sure he must. Actually.
He must. We have to look. Even though they mentioned the guy, let's look.
Yes.
The guy at the hotel helped everybody escape through the hotel.
Yeah.
So that they could get out. That was the only way out, and he was helping some people get out. Some people got out. So it's like
reminds me of like the.
So like he was planning that for years.
The path in like I think it was in Kenobi.
Yeah.
The path. Yeah, that reminds me of that. Like that guy. Like I feel like people like him are like that's like that. Like, like the people who help people.
Yeah.
But
and there's always somebody like that. There's always somebody who's helping.
Yeah.
And anyways.
Anyway. Yeah.
Sadly, I thought that the point of bringing like when they brought in those soldiers in like the last episode and they were so green, I was like, they're bringing them in to be slaughtered. I knew that.
I did not see this thing with the sniper.
I knew that.
That was crazy.
I thought that they were going to count on them to do the wrong thing because they were so green.
I was thinking the sniper was to like.
Well, and that made them do the wrong thing. Well, No, like when I saw the sniper,
the Gorman front leadership.
I think I even said this to you when we were watching it. He's gonna shoot one of the soldiers, and then they're gonna react badly.
Yeah.
And that's gonna set it all off.
Yeah,
so I saw that's what I thought when I saw the sniper, and then and they were prepared to lose all of those guys because that was the plan. Because the Gormans weren't doing the wrong thing, right? They were doing the rebellion, but they weren't doing the wrong thing, and that's why the Empire had to constantly be setting them up.
Yeah.
Right, because they weren't doing the wrong thing. They had their heads about them until the end, right? So they had to make sure, because those green soldiers would be jumpy, and if they see one of them go down, then they're all going to start shooting. So sadly, that's the way it is. And then all through that, Cassian razor focused, like he's still. And then every time he sees Dedra, he pulls up his gun as if he's going to try to shoot her. Like holy crap! Right? Like that was like so good. Even though he's probably thinking he's not going to get the hell out of there because he sees what's happening, he's still trying to execute his job. Like man. Yeah, and it would, and it's just tragic for him to see what's happening, because this is what happened on his home planet, and that's what happened on his adoptive planet, basically, kind of thing, right? Yeah. So he's like seeing it play out.
That sounds like what I was thinking the whole episode. Like,
it's just tragic. Yeah. He's just seeing it over and over again. And then why he saved K2, like why he kept K2SO at the end, I wasn't clear on that. Why did he do that?
To be fair, I think it was because. Like the reason I thought, because he saw so much like destruction and death and destruction and stuff, he wanted to try and fix something.
I don't know.
That's what I was thinking.
Or it was so basic that he thought that, if we could figure this guy out,
maybe,
he could be useful in the rebellion.
I was thinking,
I don't know.
I was thinking, it might have partially been that, but then I was also thinking like he just wanted to fix something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Much that
because I mean, it's
he wanted to fix something.
That was sort of the thing. I just what was the motivation for kid? I mean, obviously, part of like the story motivation is to have a rebel, robot, right?
That thing is so like crazy.
But like in terms of the character's motivation, that's why I was like, well, why would? So I'm trying to like invent something in my head because he literally just tried to kill him.
True. Yeah.
So I was like, so there was that. Okay, what else did I put here? I thought he would show some sort of resistance that would attract Cassian. That's what I thought. Because in the last episode when he looked at Cyril, I thought that K2, KSO unit already... A K2SO.
KX.
Yes.
2 unit. Yes.
Had already a streak of rebellion in him because of the way he looked at Cyril, but he didn't. He was still executing, so he didn't have that. So I thought that was, and that Cassian would recognize that in this unit, but he didn't. He was executing his functions. So there was no connection in that way.
But I think that was more for the audience to be like, oh, hey, look.
Yeah, I guess.
Look, I see.
But that's why I thought that there would be something different about him.
Maybe,
that Cassian would see.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the case. So that's sort of what was, so that's why, what was the motivation? Now, here I said, still tried to keep to Luthen's task despite what was unfolding all around him. And then in the end, he does fail. He doesn't manage to, maybe that's why he wanted to keep that unit, because at least he brought something back that they might be able to use. I don't know what the motivation was, but I'm just curious about when they were writing that, what they were thinking.
Well, they wanted some way to like get K2 in there.
But that's a plot device, right? That's not a in terms of story writing, you have to have a motivation, right? So that's what I'm trying to figure it out.
Well, I think probably the motivation, and I think they were kind of discussing this a bit when they were like fixing him in the next episode.
Yeah, let's save it, right? Because I guess you just bring it up. Yeah, maybe I didn't write anything about that. I didn't see it.
I also was thinking that it was probably like within the story itself. It was probably to get like a more powerful droid.
I don't, because they're scavenging in a way, right?
It's new technology, I would assume. I'm assuming it's new technology, definitely very powerful technology. They're probably going to
maybe that's what it is.
Repurpose it.
Had they seen those things before? I don't know, right?
I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe that's why. I don't know.
I don't think they had, because like they're like kind of staring at it like, what is this?
What the hell is that?
What is this?
Maybe that's
But
what it was,
that's what they
because
were
it was
doing
new
with
tech.
the TIE Fighter too. They stole the TIE Fighter
Yeah.
at the beginning.
So maybe that's what it was.
So probably that's what it
And
was.
I just didn't. It was just lost on me, because that was something that I was a loose end that I was, because it's such an important thing that he did.
Yeah. Sure.
But why did he do it? Because this thing literally just tried to crush him. Right? Okay, so now your turn.
Yes.
For that episode. Again.
Yes.
Who are you?
Okay. Yes. So honestly, I still stand by this. I think it was my favorite of season 2 so far, because, like, and we kind of discussed this, but because...
Oh yeah, I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah. Like, the fact, like, we know what is going to happen, more or less, but we stay in one place the whole time, but it's still... Like, and the same people and the same thing is happening.
Right,
There's
but
no
the
really
other thing that
jumping,
you were
but
saying...
it still is really compelling.
While we were watching it,
Yes.
you said that this is one of the only episodes that's done in sort of like real time.
Yeah,
right?
kind of. Yeah, because like it's done in like about an hour, and like realistically, it would maybe only take
it was
about
like that, and it was
Yeah.
like a continuous,
Yeah, it was a
because
whole
we weren't
continuous
jumping
thing.
back and
Yeah.
forth in time. It was literally
Yeah.
a continuous thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so that
So I really
didn't
like
mention
that.
that, but that is cool.
Yeah, and I thought it was like very very like compelling that they were like the story writers and everyone like was able to do that and have it be like very like engaging and still.
Yeah, and I feel like they did
Yeah.
that in the next episode too.
A bit, yeah, yeah. Yeah, and then so another thing we were saying, I was expecting Will to die. I was like I literally said out loud like while we were watching this, he's gonna die.
Goodbye,
he
Will.
He did not die. It was Cyril instead.
That did surprise me. I was surprised.
And but yet again,
I didn't say that.
Yet again,
yeah.
I keep saying that like a lot of deaths are very oddly anticlimactic.
But I thought this one wasn't.
No,
I know
also
you
thought
and
it was.
you
We
thought it
disagree.
was,
We
and
disagree.
I thought that it was. I thought it was well
no,
done.
I thought they were gonna do like a whole out like big like gunfight brawl battle sequence with the two of them, because like they
but
really,
it was a brawl.
kind of, but then he just got
But
shot.
that- but it
not
was-
even by Cassian. Like I was expecting it like to like something.
We already know what's
Yeah.
the guy's name that shot him. The older guy.
Ryland.
He was so great. Oh, what a great actor.
Yeah.
But he needed to shoot him because
Yeah,
he
sure,
knew
yeah,
because they already had
He was
they
like-
had the fight,
Yes,
right? They had
that's
the
true,
fight
that's
already.
true, yeah.
And he needed to finish
That's
that
true.
fight
Yeah, I didn't think about that
because he threw him to the ground and now he finished him.
Sure, yeah.
So that was the, but I didn't
Yeah.
feel that it was anticlimactic because of how it was done.
Okay, I guess,
it was
yeah.
like, who are you?
Well, it's just 'cause
and
it
that
was-
pause was so powerful.
Yeah.
And that is that, in terms of filmmaking, like I know what you're saying. It
Yeah.
should be like
Sure.
a traditional Star
no,
Wars
yeah,
fight, and
yeah.
like we're not
Well,
using
I just wasn't
lightsabers, but it
expecting
should
him
be.
I just wasn't expecting him to just like get shot in the head.
But
I
it
wasn't
was
expecting
but
that.
it was cinematic brilliance in
Sure,
my head.
okay.
because of the question and that
Okay.
pause. Because
Yeah.
in filmmaking, that pause was forever, right?
Okay. Yeah.
You don't do that in film very
Okay.
often, right? So that was, and then we're all looking at the screen, and they're looking at each other,
Yeah.
and then that like I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah,
I loved
okay,
it.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I just kind of would have wanted a little bit more time for like Cyril to.
Some more of the fight. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, no, I just was thinking like because they spent this long, like barely they passed by each other, and like literally within
Yeah,
the
I love it.
episode,
It's
they
like
passed each other
ships.
like on the stairs.
Yeah.
and
Well, Cassian doesn't know him from Adam,
Oh
right?
no, of course, yeah. But like, I was just thinking that there would be a little bit more of like something there when
An
they actually
acknowledgement?
find. Yeah, yes. Like
Yeah,
I mean,
but would there be
understand.
let's think about that. If Cassian didn't know him, would
And
there
then,
be
and then
an
we were
acknowledgement?
discussing. So Cyril did recognize him, but Cassian had no clue.
Well,
who
I
the
think
guy was.
because because we discussed that
'cause he-
because they
yeah.
put out a notice
notice
for
for
him.
him, yeah.
So I
Yeah.
mean, Cassian would know that there was
Sure,
a not a bounty, but that he was being
Yeah.
looked for.
Yeah, sure.
But he wouldn't know by whom.
Yeah, okay,
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
I don't know.
Yeah, and then then we were already talking like the droid that was staring at Cyril earlier. I immediately clocked that was K2.
Yeah,
Like I literally like.
but that's why I was thinking they didn't
Yeah.
do anything with that. Like I
Yeah.
thought that I think that was purely for fandoms.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was,
And
it was
then-
purely for the fans. That was a fan thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But it didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't further the plot at all.
That's true. That's true. And then yet again, I said this earlier. I was saying all season that I really wanted Cyril to have like a change of heart. Like I was getting like total like imperial defector from him the whole time. But now honestly, I feel like at that point in time, like he really did it too late. Like it was really more like kind of pitiful and kind of pathetic.
Yeah.
When he actually like felt bad. Like really, he felt bad. Like and then. Sure. Okay.
I honestly think he was completely horrified.
Yeah.
And I think in a way,
he just, like, kind of didn't
I
know
think
what
in a
to
way
do.
he wanted to die. Like I really do.
Because
I think
that was why he kept like going. Like he didn't have to like attack Cassian.
No.
And like for sure, like.
I think he really maybe that's why he attacked him with such ferocity. He wanted him to kill him. Like I don't know.
Who knows?
I don't know, but I just feel like at that point he was done. He was done. I don't. I think for the first time he saw clarity is what I think.
Yeah.
And that was Mm-hmm. I don't know, but anyways, that was clearly very powerful.
Yeah. And then like the whole thing that really made me feel like even less sympathy for like Edie the mother and Dedra like that. Like it's just like the whole like situation. Just honestly, I don't. Yeah,
really like at the end, like Edie, man, like like I said, like she's like, oh, now my son is a hero. Like now, finally, when he's dead, you like really?
But then I think my top scene like this episode was like the it was almost it was the last one where what was her name? Hold on, I just had this. Drina.
Yeah, Drina.
Yeah, she was on the radio, and that's what we were discussing earlier.
Because and that gives you chills, right?
In the trailer, we were discussing earlier.
Now we know who it is,
and now we know.
It's just
and I was like, wow. And
it's just like, ooh, I'm getting chills just thinking about it.
And that juxtaposed over
I really
Cassian,
get chills
just driving.
Yeah,
and like he's like grieving and crying, and I'm like. That was
yeah, because there's a lot going on there. I mean, he's seeing it now basically for the third time.
Yeah, kind
of. And he's losing Will as well. He doesn't think he's going to see Will again. You know, and it's just like he just and he's done. And I mean that's what happens in the okay. All right, so you do the third or the ninth episode. Welcome to the Rebellion. Again, the titles are great. Yeah, I always wait for the title to come out in the conversation.
And then so again, I really think. I've said this before, the sets are fantastic. Just the visuals of the Senate, fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, I know where it is. We know where it is because I saw like earlier.
Oh yeah,
where
it is in reality.
Where it is actually, but like you would not know. Like it looks totally like it could be some alien planet, and that I just really think it was like very, very beautiful and very well done.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm wondering how did they edit the buildings, all the buildings and the skyline out? Like that's crazy. But I'm sure it must be not that hard. But
it takes some skill.
I don't know, but and then honestly, I like the scene where Mon Mothma and like Luthen were interacting like at night in like the fountain area. I understand why she felt angry that like Erskine was working for Luthen and didn't tell her.
I have a lot to say about that.
Like I understand because like of course like she's like this guy's like basically like her right hand man. He's like her confidant, and like she trusts him with everything.
But and sometimes you're better off not knowing.
Sure, I guess, but like I understand why she was angry, like because like this is the guy that's supposed to be like always on your side no matter what, and then you find out that he's not technically really working for you.
Yeah, but she's But
like, I understand. Like I do think her reaction.
But that's why Luthen was trying to explain this to her because. I don't think she was ready to understand really what was happening.
I do feel like she feels like she's been betrayed so many times by so many different people. That
I think she's still sore about what happened to her.
She's definitely still sore about what happened to Take Holma.
Yeah,
she's definitely still like upset about that. But I was also worried that Erskine would die, and so I guess I must now just say like whenever I'm worried someone's gonna die, they're not actually gonna die, because I was worried he would die and he didn't, and I'm glad he didn't die because I was.
Yeah, I think he sticks around for a while, right? Yeah, that's that.
Hopefully, yeah, and. Then I also really like the scene with like Mon Mothma's speech in the Senate.
Of course,
and I thought it was like hilarious that Bail Organa.
Oh yeah, they had to put that.
Bail Organa was using like malicious compliance. Basically, he was like, "Well, according to this." So
there was that, and then that whole thing with those two that wouldn't let the guy in.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
those
that
two.
was yeah.
So
that
they,
was funny. They're like, oh, I don't know.
So
We
they
have
have
to
this
go get a-"
really tense thing that's happening.
Yeah.
This brilliant speech, but they still managed to put in a bit of humor.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
right? Like it wasn't
And you see,
wasn't
like, how many
distracting.
moving parts there are, and how many people like really want this to succeed, even if they're not like in on the plan.
I think they were in a way.
Maybe they might
Because
have
they
been.
knew,
but
like,
they
if
could have also
because
just
they were
been, like-
outside her. Well,
You
no,
know, I don't
they
think
were outside the
I
recording
think they
place.
were just like
right?
two people, and they were like, no, I want to see
Yeah.
the speech. I want
Yeah.
to see her do this. Yeah,
Because they probably
sure.
respect her
Yeah, sure, of course.
tremendously.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I said, all I wrote down was literally excellent speech. Yeah, and then the episode title, "Welcome to the Rebellion," they came from like a scene between Mon
Yeah.
Mothma and Cassian,
And
he was like, "Well, welcome to the rebellion." She's like, "What?"
And that's
I
and
found that
I have
was,
a lot to say about
was,
that.
That was kind of funny. Like I found that I read that it's like a little bit funny. Like what? She's like,
Yeah,
huh?
but you think about what that means, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and I can talk a little
Like
bit about
I was
it.
reading that, and she thought she was already like in the rebellion, and then she
but
was
she
like, "Wait,
she
no, I
wasn't
wasn't actually."
prepared. I mean,
Yeah.
she was
Like,
funding
was,
it.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it wouldn't
but
be
she wasn't,
going
like,
on.
the front lines.
But she,
until
but
just
that's
now.
the thing. There's the front lines
Yeah.
and the front lines,
true.
right? Like
Yeah.
I
Like,
think
if
that.
they didn't have her funding, it wouldn't happen.
But I think that
wouldn't
she
exist.
didn't, and that was why I was a little bit angry that she was so angry at Ezra, right? Like because
Yeah, Erskine.
Erskine,
Yeah.
because she was doing the rebellion, but she didn't. I mean, maybe she knew,
Yeah.
but she didn't want to admit
Yeah, sure.
the things that were actually happening in order
Yeah.
because people have to die, and there were people dying, and I don't think that because she had this sort of like,
didn't like that.
she had this privileged life.
bit,
It's kind of thing like that
Sure.
there, and now she was confronted with the dirty part of it. Like, do you know what I mean? She was putting her whole life on the line, right?
Yeah.
But then there was other people that were
Like physically
physically
literally-
putting their life on the line and dying, and and I think she knew, but she didn't know, and now she was really seeing it, right?
Which is interesting because like literally her cousin Vel like.
But I don't think that
With-
she was actually telling her what was going on.
Sure,
Like, do you know what I
maybe,
mean?
yeah.
Because she was
Yeah,
working
okay.
for Luthen as well, and
Yeah.
she knew and she didn't know. And I think that's like an interesting thing. Like, you know, like things that, you know, go on. Like there's the people that sort of do things, but then there's people that do the dirty part. Like they
Yeah,
do the actual work.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden he's welcoming her to that
Yeah.
part.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if Cassian would know that she was funding the whole thing. He
Yeah,
probably
probably
doesn't.
not.
But now she's like, now her eyes are opening to what's actually being done. Right. And she's becoming aware of the necessity of it. Right. And you know, like I'll talk a bit more about that, but I think that, you know, to your point, but yeah.
Okay. And then like kind of almost speaking to that, like I just thought it was interesting that like the first literally the first episode of season 1, Cassian was like went from killing some guy and just basically was self-defense,
Yeah.
kind of, to literally just like gutting down like several people just in cold blood, like,
Because he needed to, right?
Because he needed to, but like it's just so interesting that he did not hesitate.
No.
He did not hesitate at this point.
Yeah, and I'll have more to say about that.
And then I cried when Bix left. I cried at that. That made me very upset.
But that again, I guess, is
That
still
makes me
because
even more
she didn't
upset.
want to
Yeah.
be in the way, because she knew he had work to
True,
do.
yeah,
That
but
comes back to
that
what we
just
were
made
saying
me very
before
upset.
about that she knows.
That
Like,
made
she
me
also
so
knows,
upset.
the Force healer knows that there's something,
Yeah.
he has to do something, and
Yeah.
she knows that it's important. And it
Yeah.
comes back to the other thing. She's, we're going to be in the rebellion. I want to win.
Yeah.
Right? So this is her sacrifice
Yeah.
to win, right? I mean, she doesn't know that she's not going to see him again, right? But I mean, we know that. But she's willing to take that risk in order that he does his purpose, right? So that's her part, right? And I mean, she's done plenty already. She suffered enough, you know, but she, you know, anyways.
Yeah. Anyway.
So there's
they
that.
have K2 though.
They,
And
yeah,
he's
and then
being
and that
sassy
sort
just from the
of and that
first
sort
line.
of helps him move on because now he's
being
got
sassy just from the first line.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so my turn?
Yep.
Okay. So to add to what you said, I mean, a lot of it came out already. So there's a lot to think about in this episode. The tension, even though you know both are going to get out, you know that they're both going to get
Yeah.
out. But the tension, like,
Mon Mothma?
well, with Mon Mothma and
Yeah,
Cassian,
Cassian,
like
yeah,
that
yeah.
was,
Yep.
even though you know that they both get out, you're still like, oh my God, are they going to get out? Like the writing is awesome. Like I can't say enough about it. So the things that stuck with me, Cassian is invisible.
Yeah, about yeah.
And it bugs me because he's invisible. He's doing all of these things. Yeah. Everybody relies on him, but he's not going to accompany her. Yeah. And she wouldn't be there if it wasn't for him. Like literally, he got her out by himself. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He's invisible. Mm-hmm. He's like the invisible guy, and like I just.
But like they need him in order for.
I know, work, yeah. But it pains like because we all know how he ends too, right? Yeah. And he's invisible. Yeah. And it's just like God. Yeah. So he's not even allowed to bring her. Be part of like he's not even allowed to do that. He's not even allowed to bring her to Yavin. Yeah. Mon with Cassian. Now, okay. He does his business to get her out. Mm-hmm. She freaks out. And what does he do? Look at me. Yeah. Look at me. Hold my hand. Mm-hmm. So so there's a difference between him and Luthen, right? Yeah. Because he knows what this looks like. Yeah. Luthen has lost, right? Yeah. At this point, he's gone. Like, he's lost. Yeah. He's like a machine, and he doesn't even acknowledge the horrors of what's happening, right? Mm-hmm. But even though Cassian is involved with this, he still sees it as horrific.
I do think that's still also why like he keeps trying to like basically quit the rebellion
because he knows he hasn't lost his soul to the rebellion, even though somebody has to lose their soul to the rebellion, right? Yeah. He hasn't lost it, and he's still like the person, right? That's doing all of these very important things. Mm-hmm. So he still grounds her, right? So Mon Mothma could fall apart in any minute, despite everything that she's done. Yeah. He's grounding her and doing like even that small act is important to the rebellion, right?
But I was just thinking now that you mentioned that, like in like Rogue One, like. Up until the point when like Jin's father like dies, basically just dies like in the attack and stuff. Up until that point, he also had become kind of almost like Luthen. Like he
at that point, further on.
Yeah, at that point.
But then at the very last scene, he's like, "Don't look." Like he looks.
Yeah. And then after that, he kind of goes back. But like I'm honestly
because
interested to know like what's gonna happen in the last batch.
Well,
like maybe it was because Vix left. Who knows? But,
so I don't know. Yeah. So Cassian is aware. He sees and does, and yet he understands he's not Luthen yet. Mm-hmm. Okay, Cassian. He says, "I've been lucky," right? Yeah. And then Bix leaves, right? So that's the one thing that he isn't lucky with. But in a way, it's what needed to be done. She believes he's critical. Protects the rebellion. That's what we're just saying. Sad because we know that
he's not going to get out. They're never going to find each other again.
We know that. But she knows that that's a risk. Yeah, Mon Mothma's shock when she realizes that she's been protected. Yeah. This whole time she's been protected, and then she feels betrayed. Mm-hmm. But she's been protected because she's important. Because without her money and without her being part of the rebellion, they're lost.
And probably her like status is like a senior senator. Yeah.
They need her. Everyone was doing this to protect her. And
like because Chandrila was like one of the founding planets of the.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about that, but yeah.
Right?
Now, what did I say here?
Republic.
The speech, yes, iconic. And her role is to bring focus. Yeah, like she's like that rallying person. Mm-hmm. I wish it was Cassian because he's done so much, but it's her.
No, yeah, I think it's good that it wasn't. It's not Cassian. Because,
I just feel bad that he's so because in the tradition of the episodes where everybody gets an award from her.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe that's why she does that because the person who really should have gotten it never got one. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the old episodes of Star Wars, they always had like. Well, yeah, Leia does it too.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
but she. Yeah, but she, you understand where I'm going with this, right?
Yeah, she's like a big like public figurehead.
Yeah, like she's the one that Anyways, so welcome to the rebellion officially. That was the last thing I wrote down. Welcome to the rebellion. You're officially part of it. Even though she was always part of it. But now we're full on. The rebellion is fully on, and people are going to start separating. I guess in terms of who are you with? You're part of the rebellion or not? And and doing and always look for the people that the doers, right? Like that, like in the last episode we were talking about the guy in the hotel who helped as many people get out as he could, and then he blew up the doorway. Like, you know what I mean? It's those people that do these little things. They're so important, right? Because, you know, who gets out and then they, you know, yeah. I just like that. Oh, you know, and then, you know, when they found that one weapon, I guess they know that was a Gorman weapon at the end.
Oh, yeah.
So they know somebody got out. Who was it that got out? So it was one of the group there.
Yeah, it was.
He was out.
Was it not the guy who accidentally killed Cinta?
I can't remember if it was him.
I think it was that guy.
Oh.
I think it was him.
Was it?
Yeah, that's why Vel noticed the weapon and she was like, "Wait, whose is this?" And it was that guy. Because it was
and
Vel.
then she was good with it. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope you're right.
I think
I hope you're right. I hope you're right. We should.
I'm pretty sure.
This is why we need to watch this again. We need to watch it all.
I'm pretty sure I was
we
right,
need to have like I don't know when I'm ever gonna have time to
we're
watch
gonna sit down
12
for
hours
two days and just like
that.
sit down.
You know, because always when I go on vacation, we go on vacation. We don't like to have a staycation. We should have a staycation.
We should do that. Yeah. Star Wars marathon.
Oh my god! So that's the end of that. So winter break. Yeah, we have other plans for winter break. But anyways, I think that's it, right, for these three. So, so if you've listened to us this far, thank you.
I want to see more K2.
We want to see more K2, which we will. And there will be another podcast on the last 3 episodes, which we have not seen yet.
No.
So
I need to see him. I need to see.
Yeah, we FYI, we have a fish named K2.
Yeah.
That's how obsessed we are with K2. And if you watch a past podcast, this one has art that they bought in there. So if you look back on our if you come to our YouTube channel, if you look for one where we're looking like we're on Zoom, one of our musings episodes, there is some K2 art. That this one got. I can't remember which one, but you know, it's pretty easy to see which episodes are the Zoom episodes. Because right now you're on summer break. So look for another podcast on Andor, and maybe we'll do another one in Rogue One again, because I know we're thinking of doing a movie.
I'll watch my favorite one again.
Because we were also thinking about doing reviewing the Tron Legacy
before Tron Ares comes out.
So maybe we'll do like, you know,
because I like the soundtrack.
Maybe we'll do Rogue One and
I also
Tron,
like the soundtrack.
And
actually, almost every movie that I
and
really
you know,
like,
ironically,
I love the soundtrack. That's really weird.
The only Tron episode that I saw was the original, because that's how old I am. Yeah, the original movie. Yeah. Why, there's other stuff?
There's a show. There's one season.
Oh wow.
Of the show.
Okay, so. It tells you how old I am. But yeah, so.
And several video games.
Yeah, no. I just know the original movie. We went on the Tron ride and we have a podcast. We have a podcast on our Disney experience.
I said that I literally watched the entire original Tron movie.
Yeah, while we were in line to see that. Anyways, well, we might do that. So if you want to hear a podcast on something like that, leave us drop us a comment.
Let us know.
But there will be more Andor coming up. I'm going to finish that off, and we're going to do some Sandman, because that is out right now, and like we're chomping at the bit to see that.
Yeah, it's before the second
we
half
have
comes
some
out.
Past audio-only podcasts that are
the first half.
The first half of the first season, and we're not done. So we're probably going to do season 2 and then go back.
But we just never finished.
We haven't finished doing a podcast on it. So that's coming up. So lots to do. Plus we were on a trip. We thought we were going to try and do a few little things about our experience on our trip. We could say where we were. We were in Italy. So if you're interested in hearing about our Italy experience,
also
let us know. There's so much to do. And we're only doing one a month because we're so busy doing stuff. But every second Tuesday of the month, there's definitely going to be a podcast, and we're hoping to put out a few more. But if we don't, we're sorry. We're just busy. We're busy people. So again, thanks for listening. And as usual, thank you for being part of the Birds on Power Lines podcast.